What's going on, guys? Bengal again here, coming back at you with another video, and today we are rebuilding the New York Jets. This is an interesting team. They have recently come into a lot of draft picks after the trading of Jamal Adams. That was a really interesting time, and the Jets actually got a lot of value back. Sure, the Seahawks are getting the guaranteed bona fide stud player. I completely understand that. But in terms of the value that the Jets actually got in return for Jamal Adams, who had somehow fallen into not part of their long-term plan, the Jets did tremendously well in that trade. So I definitely think the Seahawks won in terms of getting a good player who can help them compete now and potentially win a Super Bowl. The Jets got a lot of good picks that could potentially help them out. And those picks are probably going to be later in the first round anyway, due to the nature of the talent of the Seahawks. As I got to open my mouth when I speak. I feel like I'm mumbling, stumbling. Hopefully we're not fumbling here with Le'Veon Bell, but Jets rebuild coming in. Hit that subscribe button if you're new. We're on the path to 200,000 subscribers, so every single subscription helps. And also, if you want help with listening to great music, maybe not from Le'Veon Bell, you got to check out Raycon, the sponsor of today's video. This video is sponsored by Raycon, of course. Ray J, you guys all know him, worldwide famous for making great earbuds, and these are no different. The everyday E25 noise isolating earbuds. Not only are they stylish, coming in a bunch of different colors. I went with blue personally. That is my cup of tea there. But they're also extremely comfortable. They are sleek. You can barely even tell they're in the ear a lot of the time. And they're so much cheaper than any other competitor for the quality. These things sound amazing, and they're legitimately better than any other earbud I've owned. So when they're as cheap as they are and as high quality as they are for the price, it's a can't miss opportunity. You have to go to buyraycon.com/Bengal. The link will be in the top line of the description. You'll get a discount on top of what's already a fantastic price. So I cannot recommend this highly enough. As I said, top line of the description, buyraycon.com/Bengal. Great price, great product, great opportunity. Thanks again to Raycon for sponsoring the video. So let's go ahead and talk about this team, or at least the way that it shapes up in Madden. This is probably one of either 2 or 3 Jets rebuilds that we'll do across the course of this year. Make sure you're subscribed for those. We'll do a realistic version with my actual 2021 draft class, which is completely finished right now. Updates will be made across the course of the year for sure, but that class is completely done, and every realistic rebuild will be using a 2021 draft class. However, these fantasy style ones where kind of anything goes to some degree, where we can trade old players for young talent and picks, that we're going to be using auto-generated prospects, just because I think it makes it a little bit more fun, more random, more unique from rebuild to rebuild. But when we take a look at this team, there are a number of things that we have to consider. First of all, the offensive line's bad. Mekhi Becton has a ton of potential, super high ceiling. I mean, he's 6'7", maybe even 6'8", and he's down to 360. I think he weighed in actually at 380 or so when he was playing for Louisville, and I think he actually slimmed down for the Combine. I'm not sure if he's going to actually stay at that weight, but I thought he was listed near 380. 369. I thought maybe it was 379. 369, though. Down to 364. It'll be interesting to see what weight he can hold at. He's only 21 years old, but a lot of potential there. He's our starting left tackle of the future without question. The rest of the offensive line, you got a lot of questions on there. I actually like Chuma Edoga quite a bit. We'll probably play him over George Fant, but Greg Van Roten, Connor McGovern. Is he the better Connor McGovern? I don't think so. There are 2. Maybe he is. It's tough to know. They're about the same. 2 Connor McGovern to play offensive line in the NFL. Then Alex Lewis in there, the team signed, who also is not particularly good. At tight end, I like Chris Herndon a lot. He's going to start over Ryan Griffin, Trayvon Wesco in there as well. And then the receiver is pretty weak. Like, it's really bad. Jamison Crowder, good potential as our future slot maybe. He is 27. Hard to know what his ceiling is going to be. Within Madden, players start to regress at 28, 29 years old. Le'Veon Bell in there, I like him as our future at the running back position, unless we have to pay him. He is 28 as well, though. Also a little bit of a question mark. Sam Darnold, though, is the biggest question, because even though he does have star development, a lot of Jets fans think he can be the future of their team, and he really hasn't gotten a good chance because he's had no offensive line, no receiver help. It's been really tough for him. So you definitely have some excuses out there that are valid, but is he going to, be able to develop in Madden for our franchise and be that future franchise guy? We'll have to see. I don't think it's impossible. I don't know how likely it is. So we'll see. Chris Hogan, Josh Bellamy, Braxton Berrios, Rashad Perriman got signed. Josh Doxson's in here. It's not great. Frank Gore even got signed. They got Kalen Ballage. I mean, Joe Flacco's here. James Morgan. It's an interesting offense. However, it's not like defense is a ton better. Of course, in this rebuild, we're playing as if injuries didn't happen, so opt-outs not happening as well. CJ Mosley's going to be in there. Avery Williamson, Terrell Basham, Jordan Jenkins. There's not much on the edge. Jordan Willis. We need to get edge rushers badly. On the defensive line, I do like Quinton Williams quite a bit. Steve McClendon is just too old. I'm probably going to look to trade him. He's 34. Nathan Shepard's going to slide into that role and start. Henry Anderson's actually pretty good as well. Only 76 overall. I think he could be maybe 79. That's just nitpicking at that point, though. Of course, the team brought in Bradley McDougald, Marcus May. A lot of people seem to like. Quincy Wilson's in there as well, more of a corner, or is a corner. Pierre Desir, Brian Poole. Brian Poole's pretty good. I'm actually kind of surprised he's not higher rated than Pierre Desir. Blesson Austin. I think Nate Harrison. Am I wrong there? No, I'm correct. Okay. So we need to improve pretty much everywhere, man. This is a draft the best player available. Trade for any position. As long as you can bring in a good player, we'll be fine. Brett Maher is the starting kicker now. And then Braden Mann, rookie out of Texas A&M, they gave star development to. Interesting. I mean, he's got a leg on him. Ashton Davis, we didn't even mention him. Ashton Davis, pretty good player. Second or third round pick out of Cal. Like him. You'd think he'd be more of a like run stuffer. But this is a guy who can actually play over the top pretty well. So, I mean, we'll see. We'll see what we want to do. We have a lot of potential, can make a lot of moves here. Let's go ahead and try and trade some of these older players for either picks or younger talent if we can. Damn, so many players in here are either 28 or 29. Patrick Owasso's here as well. I forgot they brought him in. We got to get some of these older players out of here. We might be kind of decimating this team a little bit. Like, Pierre Desir is a good player, but this is not a team that's going to compete this year. And I don't think he's going to be back long term. We got to do something. George Fant is getting paid over $7 million per year. Let's change that. But I am trying to get Tremaine Edmonds right now. And I think we could do it. I mean, Avery Williamson and CJ Mosley are 28. I think, yeah, Owasso is 28 as well. Every middle linebacker is 28. And we have Blake Cashman behind, who's actually really good at Minnesota. He's super young, too. Might want to find him some playing time somehow. Tremaine Edmonds is a good player, just probably not who we want to trade for. You know who I want? I want Brian Burns, who usually ends up in free agency, actually. But if we can get him somehow, that would be awesome. Oh, we totally can. I'm so in on this. Throw Alex Lewis in there. Dump his contract and get a sick player. Brian Burns. He was my draft crush of last year. I thought he was such an incredible player. And he played well when he was not injured. Brian Burns has a lot of potential. We actually finally get some help on the edge, man. Unbelievable. He'll be shifting to play outside linebacker for us. Tremendous athlete. I do have a little bit of a crush on Brian Burns. I mean, can you blame me with his height, weight, speed? Speed to power as well as a pass rusher. His edge bend is crazy. Brian Burns could be so good. I hope this doesn't come back to bite me at any point. But I think Brian Burns is just such a good player, and I think he's going to develop so well. So hopefully he doesn't end up being a bust. We'll see, I guess. For this team not being so good, there are a lot of players that are eating up a ton of our cap room. Like George Fant getting paid as much as he is. So many of these players are getting paid massively. We got to get some of these guys out of here. Like, I'm tempted to trade CJ Mosley. I really am. And even Avery Williamson as well. They're good players, don't get me wrong, but they're going to go downhill. They're 28, and unfortunately in Madden, if they're not a high enough overall, that's just not where you want to be. Bradley McDougald might be on the way out as well. I mean, everyone's 28, 29 on this team. I don't understand why his value is so poor in this game, but we're getting Calvin Ridley, Henry Anderson, George Fant, and a 4th-round pick. Gives us an upgrade at the receiver position. Similar size in some ways to Jamison Crowder, but I think a better player overall. And we can trade Jamison Crowder. At 27 years old at 10 mil cap hit is not ideal. I guess I'll probably just hold on to him. But, I mean, Bradley McDougald we can hold on to as well. I should trade him. Do I just want to completely decimate this team, though? It's not a team that's going to compete. I mean, we probably should. I don't want to trade everybody, though. Is Steve McClendon still on the roster? How is that possible? I didn't trade him already? Turns out we don't even need Jamal Adams, because we've got maybe a safety who could be even better. Derwin James. Steve McClendon, and we are trading C.J. Mosley. That's the one thing. C.J. Mosley's a good player, 85 overall. But he is 28, and his cap hit is immense. He's also not playing in real life. And we're trading the first-round pick from Seattle. But Derwin James is an incredible addition to this team. An amazing safety. The versatility is nearly unmatched in the NFL. It's going to be fun to see what Isaiah Simmons can become. But, I mean, you could say Derwin James can do it all, basically. He's come off the edge. He can play over the top. He can play in the box. Derwin James is incredible. And he is going to wear Jamal Adams 33, right? Is that what number Jamal Adams wears? I want to say he does. Yeah, 33. There's a new 33 in town, and his name is Derwin James. Welcome to the Big Apple. So I actually decided to change this team to a 4-3. I just thought it fit better, given who we currently have and who I plan on trading. And, of course, because middle linebacker, that position group, the overall is stretched differently. Patrick Owasso and Blake Cashman both jump up in overall when moving to outside linebacker. 77 for Owasso and 73 for Blake Cashman. Marcus May is moving over to free safety. We're going to trade Bradley McDougald. I kept Brian Burns at right end, but slid Quinton Williams over to defensive tackle, which is a more natural fit for him anyway, which is what he did at Alabama. It's a just a slight technique change, but it's similar overall. He's still going to be playing on the inside, rushing the passer with Brian Burns flying off the edge, Jordan Jenkins on the other side. I don't know what else I'm going to trade other than Bradley McDougald on defense. I think it's probably going to be about it. But then on offense, might look to trade Jamison Crowder or Brashad Perriman or Chris Hogan even. I don't know what type of value Frank Gore or even Joe Flacco would have, but of course, based on their age and overall, they'd be on the trading block as well. Okay, wow, we're just becoming the New York Chargers. Bradley McDougald, Frank Gore, Chris Hogan for Mike Williams. That's part of the problem with the trade finder is it's like when you try to make a trade in fantasy football and you're like, oh, do you want to take my 3 whatever players for your stud? That equals out in value. It's like, well, it doesn't because you can't recreate that good of a player. But I'll take it. Mike Williams, welcome to the team. Jamison Crowder is now freed up to be traded, so I'll probably end up doing that. And is there anyone else I want to trade? I'm going to hold on to Brian Poole for the time being. It's pretty much just Jamison Crowder and then whoever else I have to trade. Brashad Perriman maybe. Two receivers is counterproductive for trades because they only factor in the one. So if they need a receiver, it won't boost up the total trade value at all, even though it's 2 players. So we'll either trade one or the other. I mean, probably Brashad Perriman. Jamison Crowder, I don't think he's going to regress until next year. So does Perriman have green value anywhere? The Chargers, that's funny. And the Falcons. Oh, I wonder why. It's almost like we took 2 of their best receivers. We'll just do this straight up. Brashad Perriman for Chris Lindstrom. I think it's a good addition to our offensive line. I tried to get Brandon Scherf in the previous trade before we got Mike Williams. And I guess that wouldn't have been bad, but I think Chris Lindstrom is actually a little bit better value for us just because he's younger. And obviously he's a lot worse. But we would have had to trade more. So Chris Lindstrom, welcome, welcome, welcome. And, I mean, I guess we'll play him at left guard instead. I might even put Blake Cashman as their sub linebacker just to see if we can upgrade him a little bit faster. But this is how our team's going to look. These players are where they are. I like it. It's not even that bad. Jordan Willis is actually going to play over Jordan Jenkins. Jabari Zuniga in there as well. And then everything else is pretty much unchanged. But I think the team actually looks better already. And we didn't really even trade for a lot of picks. Did we even make a move for a first rounder? We didn't. Let me just see who's going to be an impending free agent. And then we might end up trading somebody else. So let's see what we have to do here. I'm going to stop it around week 6 or 7 just so I can trade someone prior to the trade deadline. Well, there you go. Avery Williamson is an impending free agent, so he's gone. I'm trading Avery Williamson, probably. Marcus May as well. Brian Poole, Patrick Owasso. Oh, my goodness. Okay. So, 2 27-year-olds and a 28-year-old. I know I seem just completely fixated on their age, but in Madden, that matters a lot. So, Marcus May really is never going to get higher than an 85. Like, if he's going to want, like, a 3 or 4 year deal, probably, and that's just, like, paying for someone who's not going to get better. Avery Williamson, though, has to get traded. I might extend Brian Poole and Marcus May, but Avery Williamson should be traded right now. All right, I'm in week 8 now. Team need is middle linebacker. Well, it's going to be for sure, because Avery Williamson is getting moved. Giants are 5-1. Okay, cool. I'm a Giants fan. I like that. The Eagles are 0-7. Football team is 1-6. Damn, NFC East getting dominated by the Giants. This seems legit. I'd be shocked. Tears of joy would stream down my face. Speaking of streams, I stream about every day on Twitch, twitch.tv/Bengal. Link is in the description. Also, I know how I've been promoting my stuff, which, I mean, obviously makes sense, but I promoted my merch the other day, and someone's like, where's the merch link? Dude, it's in the description where it says merch, and then it links. That's where it is. In the description, the text box below the video with all the different information. You hit show more. That's where it is. Okay, so we've made a giant trade here. Avery Williamson, Patrick Owasso, and a 7th-round pick are headed to football team. We are getting the projected number 2 overall pick in the draft, and I know that seems like a weird move, but both of those players were impending free agents. We are not competing now, and I think a first-round pick is going to help us more than bringing back both of those regressing players. I think they're very good. Also, Mekhi Becton has superstar development. I didn't even realize that, by the way. I thought it was star. He's got superstar dev. That's just going to put us in a position to be fantastic in the future. So I think that trade does help us out, and I'm probably not done. I don't know if I want to trade Marcus May and Brian Poole. They were names we talked about. I'm on the fence about it. Jamison Crowder, Folo Fatakasi, and a 6th-round pick are on the move for number 16 projected from the Cardinals. Yeah, Jamison Crowder's a big loss, but we have 2 receivers that are better in front of him and younger and under team control. I know it's a baseball term, but like, we don't have to re-sign those guys for at least this year. Jamison Crowder, aging and was on the move eventually. Marcus May and Brian Poole. I think I am going to re-sign Brian Poole probably more than Marcus May. I'm actually super okay with the 3-year deal, and we'll have to bump up the money a little bit on that. So Brian Poole returns. I don't really want to extend Marcus May long-term because I think safeties are a little bit more easy to come by, a little bit more easily accessible for talent. Now, a 4-year deal isn't terrible, but I'd be more comfortable with a 3-year deal. He might even end up getting traded, so I could bump up the money and then potentially look to trade him. I don't know if he'd accept this, though, and he actually does return, so it's a little bit more money on a shorter deal. And who knows, maybe he even ends up regressing, gaining a development trait. You never really know. Quincy Wilson's another player I would like back as well. He's a 74 overall, only 24 years old. Only normal development as well, but he's cheap. And if we extend him for like 6 years, paying him $2.5 million per year, like, we could get an 80 overall player there in 2 or 3 seasons. That's extremely cheap, so I'll take that. Jordan Jenkins, I'll be honest, I don't particularly care for him one way or the other. And before I simulate, I'm going to spend some coach XP on player progression because I believe I spent a lot of it on the scouting. Now, I have the CPU auto scouting for me, but we're going to have a pretty good idea of what the entire class has in store. So we're going to simulate to the playoffs. We're 3 of 4, actually not as bad as I would have expected. I think our defense is playing quite well. It's a strong part of our team. We've dismantled a little bit of it, but we're setting us up for a really, really strong Season 2, Season 3, etc. Damn, 43-7 just got crushed by the Pats. Finished at 5-11. Dolphins went 3-13. We'll check out the stats. 18th offense, not even that bad, honestly. Darnold was in top 10 for passing yards in the league. Our defense was brutally bad. Interesting. Darnold was not terrible. Le'Veon Bell was pretty solid. Receiving, Calvin Ridley had a good year. Mike Williams had a great year, I think, for what he is. Almost 1,000 yards and almost double-digit touchdowns. He had almost everything. Even triple-digit catches would have been really cool. Quincy Wilson led our team in tackles. Blake Cashman just behind him. Tackles for loss, 12 for Quinton Williams. We didn't get a ton of pressure on the QB from any individual player, but I guess not terrible as a team. Not good, but not terrible. 5 picks for Brian Poole. Maybe we made the right move to extend him. He's a good player. I just worry about that age in Madden. I know how serious regression can hit, so we got to always be on the lookout for that. As Cam Newton wins MVP with the Patriots. Sam Darnold at number 9. AFC Offensive Player of the Year is Cam Newton. Sam Darnold at number 8. Defensive Player of the Year, Miles Jack. Man, multiple Jags in there. Maybe Jags defense is the play. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Justin Herbert. No Jets. I assume it's going to be Patrick Queen here. I saw him in Defensive Player of the Year, and it is. Patrick Queen would be a fun player to trade for, and now might be a good time to do it. But it's tough to get first-round picks from the previous season, or from this season in Madden for this entire franchise year. It's going to be tough to trade for him. But I know he develops really, really well. So it might be the move. If we can get Patrick Queen, we have a need at inside linebacker. We traded away C.J. Mosley and Avery Williamson, who are 2 big free agent acquisitions by the Jets a few years ago, as it was Browns-Niners in the Super Bowl, and the Browns murdered them. Niners just can't win a Super Bowl lately, it seems. They can make it, but they just can't win it. Lost to the Ravens. Lost to the Chiefs. Lost now to the Browns here in make-believe land. But we're just going to advance to free agency here. Might make a move for a running back. I know we have Le'Veon Bell, but I think we could pay one who's debatably better with a higher ceiling for cheaper. So, I mean, Le'Veon Bell might be on his way out. Hate to say it, but it might have to happen. Blake Cashman got starred to have. Like to see that. Alvin Kamara is here. 26, superstar development. No one's going after Kareem Hunt either. Marcus Williams is here. He'd be a nice addition to our secondary. Sheldon Rankins is here. We don't necessarily need him so much, but he would be a big upgrade over Nathan Shepard, so maybe it would be a big upgrade that we need. I don't know. He is 27, but he's also an 84 overall superstar development. I'm less worried about it. Yeah, but defensive tackles in the draft are somewhat easy to come by. I don't really feel like paying him. Like, I understand the argument, so are running backs. Like, they're easy to come by, but if we can get Kareem Hunt for a cheap deal, since nobody's going after him, and we know he's already an 88 overall with star development, this would be better value than Le'Veon Bell. I can guarantee you. Now, are there any good offensive linemen I want to sign? Just the age and the ability is not going to match up, I can guarantee. It's just not going to be there, especially for what we'd have to pay some of these guys. So I'm going to pass on that more than likely. Don't really see anyone in here that I want. Now, the Jets were going to get Logan Ryan, but they were unwilling to pay his $10 million asking price. So I guess they weren't going to get him, but they were thoughts about it. Now, I am willing to pay his $10 million asking price. I would give Logan Ryan close to this since nobody's going after him. He's 30 years old, sure, but he's also an 84 overall. And if we can get him for 1 year, maybe even 2 years at a cheaper deal, I'm all in on Logan Ryan. I guess that's not all in, but that's like I'm hesitantly in. I'm a little bit in on Logan Ryan. Went to Rutgers. Man, a lot of underrated Rutgers DBs in the last decade in football. I mean, Deron Harmon is one that you probably think of last, but Logan Ryan, the McCourty twins, and Jason and Devin I think are the 2 most well known. That's interesting. And all, by the way, have played on the Patriots. Fun fact for you. As we have signed nobody just yet. Giants now trying to steal Logan Ryan. No one wants Kareem Hunt. Shockingly, kind of a kick in the teeth, you could say, or the ass. But can we get him? Logan Ryan says no, but Kareem Hunt says yes. All right, Le'Veon Bell, I think your time in New York has come to an end. And we'll pick up the 5th-year option on Sam Darnold. That's going to be super expensive, but it gives us another year to figure out what he is. 5th year on Derwin James. Well, yeah, I'm absolutely picking it up. We've made a big move to trade for him, and we're keeping him around. Dallas Goedert on the trade block. Can they even afford to make that move? Maybe for a draft pick. How about a 5th for Dallas Goedert? Yeah, we can't trade for him because their salary cap situation is screwed. Why is he on there? Because you literally can't trade for them because they're negative cap. NFL draft time. We haven't traded Le'Veon Bell yet, but that could happen. We pick at number 6 and 7. Might make a move up if we have to. I haven't seen who's here yet. Don't know anything about the class, but if there are good enough players, I won't hesitate. Actually, I probably will hesitate, but I'll think about it. I might do it. I don't know. I won't be making a move up. We're just going to see what's available when we pick. Have to see how the board looks here. We have back-to-back picks, so I wouldn't be afraid to trade down. If you guys have been here before, you know I'll do that on occasion, and I might end up taking a receiver. Just not even worry about it after this. He's already 23, which I don't love. We're going to take him. Jason Temple at A&M, 77 overall, number 3 in the draft. We took him at number 6. Only normal development, but definitely a really good player. Already near Jamison Crowder in terms of overall, and is only 23 compared to his now 28 at this point. And he's not going to be as expensive. Actually, he might be, because we just took him at number 6 overall. Nah, he won't be that expensive, but yeah, very good player. Okay, big trade here as we are looking to improve our offensive line. Trading Le'Veon Bell and number 7 overall, as well as number 91 overall this year, 3rd round pick, for Ali Marpet and a first, number 24 overall from the Tampa Bay Bucks. I think Marpet helps our team out a lot, more so than Le'Veon Bell does. We need to improve the offensive line. We need to give Sam Darnold time in the pocket. We need to set up lanes for Kareem Hunt. Could have been, Le'Veon Bell, but no, it's got to be Ali Marpet. Chris Lindstrom can move over to right guard. We could even go ahead and play Ali Marpet at tackle if I wanted to and be crazy. But for now, Marpet left guard, Lindstrom right guard. That's how things are going to look. Offensive line starting to look good. Connor McGovern at center is fine. We really are just missing a right tackle, and that's it on offense. These top 2 quarterbacks are still available. I know that we have Sam Darnold. I know. But, I mean, Antoine Valentine is tempting. I mean, this is range where I almost can't deny him. I know, stick with Darnold, but, like, also, what if we don't? He's a 77 overall, star development. We probably can't do much better than that. Okay, here's what I'll do. Let me tell you this. I'm going to take a different position, different player, and if he's still available at 24, maybe we'll make a move. And that puts me in between 2 players, or 2 positions, 3 players. Joshua Walker at corner, who is probably who I'm leaning toward, but also D'Angelo Levy, also a corner. Good man, end zone, and play rec. Walker, we know, has good zone. Probably not much in the man department, but maybe it would be okay. C+. He's fast. His play rec's crazy high, which is going to impact his overall. Who would I prefer? And that also could end up being a safety for us. He's only 182. And then there's the dark horse, J.D. Noel here, who seems like an incredible player. 6'3", 287. He's a defensive end, but this is a guy who can play inside and outside based on his weight and his athleticism. A- tackle, B+ block shed, B+ power moves. That's a really good player. And I know we need corner, but we could also use an edge. And he could play 4-3 defensive end for us. This is a tough decision, man, because both these guys are really, really good. I almost want to say we should take the defensive end over either of the cornerbacks, and then we could potentially trade up if we had to from 24. I think I'm going to take the defensive end. He's supposed to be a mid-first round guy, and I know he's not as good as some of these early first-round corners who are going to be slightly higher overall. He's going to be a lower overall, I can tell you, than D'Angelo Levy and Joshua Walker for certain. I think he's going to be better long-term. Could have a good development trait. We'll see. He doesn't. He's ranked at number 10. He's a 75 overall, though, so he's good enough to come in and start right away very easily. He's got 80 speed, 79 block shed, 78 power move, 83 tackle, 84 strength, 85 excel, 83 agility, 77 pursuit. Like, this is a really good player. 74 finesse moves even. Like, we definitely have a stud here. The normal development is a little bit frustrating. So here's another thing that I might do is wait and see if one of these corners goes, and D'Angelo Levy's a 75, so maybe we did make the right move. I was considering making a move up for a corner if one of those guys went. There goes Antoine Valentine. He's a 75 overall as well. This draft class seems crazy deep. Crazy deep. Now, I still think that the Joshua Walker's a 77. We would have had to trade up to get him. 77 is quite good. Probably only has normal development. We can check after this. I'm curious. We'll check. And maybe I should have traded up from 24 because there's not much here that I'm even looking to draft at all. Now, there's still good value with the rest of the class. These are 3 first-round talents that we could take in the 2nd and 3rd. So I'm going to trade down from 24 Damn, we missed out on a 77 overall cornerback. That would have been a big addition to our squad. That's okay. I say through tears. Oh, yeah, I didn't even talk about Denzel Mims. Denzel Mims is a good player. We'll have to see what he does in real life. He was just buried on the depth chart, and I kind of just forgot. All right, a lot of action going on here. We're trading number 24, Greg Van Roten, and a future second for a future first and number 61. Now, I think the Dolphins are going to be bad. I know this is interdivisional trading. I get it. But it's going to be fine for both teams. They get a first-round pick, and we get a better first-round pick, hopefully next year, and the picks to take the players that we want still remaining in the draft. So I'm going to take this in terms of positional need. I'm going to downscale it, so whichever one we need first, and we'll scale down accordingly. So probably wide receiver as the last need, as there is still a first-round guy here. Najee Montague. Don't really want him, though. That's the thing. So I think Cody Barnhart's actually going to be the best player. We're going to get him out of the way first here at the top of the second. He's a 73 overall, ranked at number 24. We took him at 39. He does not look like his picture, let me tell you. But he's got 91 speed, 75 zone, 81 hit power, 80 pursuit, 67 tackle. I mean, this is a good player. This draft class was loaded. Sometimes you'll see 73 overalls like at number 10 or 11 in the class, and this is at 24. So this draft class was really, really strong. Corner here, Artemis Kirkpatrick, a wild name from The Ohio State University. He's a 73 overall, ranked at number 22. Also apparently going to wear 33 somehow. Only normal development because everyone in this game has normal development. But a talented young player. What's up, Demetrius? All right. Dimitri, maybe. Draft board. Cordell Golson out of Auburn. He's also a 73 overall at number 21. I think we just worked our way down from 23, 22, 21. Or maybe the first one was 24. But he's a 73 overall. Only normal development. Pretty good, actually. Looks like he's a really, really solid player. So, I mean, we're taking good players. Just the normal development thing sucks. It is what it is. They're rampant throughout the class. And you really can't upgrade them in Sim. I am super, super not excited to see what I missed here. Because I guarantee you it's like, oh, the only superstar players in the class, superstar X Factor, whatever, are going to be the players that you missed out on. That's just the way that goes. So, Antoine Valentine. He is at least star, and he's a quarterback, so he'll probably be at least superstar, probably superstar X Factor. He's superstar. So we missed out on a really, really good player there, but we have Sam Darnold. It's the Jets rebuild. Jets fans, you know, whatever. So that was tough. D'Angelo Levy, who is probably not who I would have drafted, only as normal. Now, the guy who I probably would have drafted was Joshua Walker. And, of course, he's got star better development. Dude, of course he does. Of course he does. Show me Superstar X Factor. It's Superstar also. Okay. Quarterback we can kind of forget about. Was a really good player. But missing the cornerback, that one hurts a lot. Okay. You're going to be shocked to hear this as we traded TJ Mosley and Patrick Wasso and Avery Williamson, but we need linebackers pretty bad. How do we get those? Oh, Bryce Hall is here as well. Another player who could end up being quite good. Injury really hurt his draft stock, but I'll try to trade Blesson Austin here. Ooh, Chiefs have interest. Any linebackers in free agency? I mean, we could bring James Burgess back. That's not great. We could bring back some of these guys, too. Malik Jefferson, former Texas Longhorn. I guess we'll bring him in. I'm also going to sign Daniel Kilgore because I'm trading Connor McGovern. I have a really good player we can bring in, and I'm not going to hesitate. I'm going to do it. Okay, this is the trade. Connor McGovern, Blesson Austin, and number 7 overall projected gets us Tyrann Mathieu. I think Tyrann Mathieu is a good enough player to where that trade makes sense for us. We're trading a really valuable pick. We're trading our starting center. So our offensive line immediately becomes worse. But Tyrann Mathieu gives us the added talent on the team as well as the added versatility. We got all versatile players. And as I've done before already this year, I'm moving Tyrann Mathieu to cornerback. He did it at LSU a little bit. He did it a lot for the Cardinals. And he pretty much is just a man defender anyway. You don't even want to just say safety or corner because he does it all. He plays in the box. He plays in the slot. Tyrann Mathieu is a monster. Better man player than his own player. He has even 90 man, 90 zone. He's a better man player, I can assure you. So he's going to work really, really well for us at corner. And now we have Derwin James. We have Tyrann Mathieu on the same defense. This is it. Dude, I want Patrick Queen. I don't think there's any way we can trade for him. I've tried a lot of different things, and he's just really tough to get. And now he's going to be upgraded a little bit, 79 overall. It's going to be almost impossible to get him, I think. I would have to for sure trade Ali Marpet. And do I want to do that? I mean, it's easy to get offensive linemen. I would consider it. They can't afford him. They can't afford it. All right, we got our middle linebacker, man. Wow, this is a big trade. We're trading a first-round pick. It's number 1 overall projected. I don't think that's what it's going to end up being. Marcus May and Brian Poole, who we both just extended, to get Eric Hendricks. Now, here's my reasoning behind that, is we've got talent behind Marcus May. He doesn't need to be our starting free safety. We brought in Tyrann Mathieu to play cornerback, so we don't need Brian Poole as much as we did. So Quincy Wilson and the rookie that we drafted, who's a first-round talent, Archimedes Kirkpatrick can actually play. And then Ashton Davis, or I think more likely, Cody Barnhart, who we drafted, can play free safety. I just don't think we needed those guys as much, even though they were good players, who I'm sure Jets fans are going to be upset to see go. We got Eric Hendricks. We needed a middle linebacker because obviously we don't have C.J. Mosley and Avery Williamson anymore. The entire purpose of all the trades we've made thus far is to get younger and to get better. And I know Eric Hendricks is 29, but he got superstar development. He's already into the 90s. Regression impacts players at a lower rate the higher their development rate is. So I think bringing in Eric Hendricks was a move that needed to happen, and it's a move that did happen. I mean, Dallas Goedert is still on the trade block, and the Eagles, even now more than before, still can't afford it. $24.5 million in negative cap room. So we still can't get him. This will be the team for season number 2, and it's a really good-looking team, honestly, for an 80 overall. We've got a lot of talent out here and a lot of room for improvement as well. A lot of guys are scheme fits. I don't want Ashton Davis starting. I want Barnhart just because we drafted him, and there's more of that attachment to that player. So let's see what this team's capable of. I'll see you guys at the midseason mark. I don't expect amazing things, but I expect pretty good things. Maybe 4 wins. That wouldn't be terrible at all. I stopped it at week 7. We're 3-2. We're actually in a really good spot. Tyrann Mathieu is an impending free agent. It's a little bit easier to trade for those players whose contracts are expiring, so that's kind of how that trade worked out a little bit. But we do want Tyrann Mathieu back. We didn't just trade for him so we wouldn't extend him, you know? And there are a lot of good players in here that I do want to re-sign. Tyrann Mathieu, of course, at the forefront of that. I don't want to extend him to a 1-year deal. I want to give Tyrann Mathieu a big contract. He's worth it. He's 29, but he's also a superstar X Factor, 94 overall. I'd even give him a 4-year deal. He should accept that, and he should be back. He wants more money. Oh, Jesus. All right, Nathan Shepard, Mike Williams, Calvin Ridley are all back. Tyrann Mathieu will be back, so no need to worry about that. All right, now Tyrann Mathieu's back. There we go. Chris Herndon, I don't know about just yet. Might be a decision we make in the offseason, depending on how competitive this team is. We're 3-3 right now. Not terrible, but, not great. Now to the playoffs. Are we going to make them? No. Week 17 loss. We would finish 6-10. Better, I guess, but not good. 26th best offense. What happened? Where's our defense? Also 26th? That's strange. When it doesn't show anything, it means the same. That's no good. Sam Darnold didn't really have that bad of a season, though. Kareem Hunt was okay. Receiving, Calvin Ridley had a decent year. The rookie Jason Temple almost mirrored it with fewer catches. Chris Herndon was solid. Mike Williams needs to get more involved. And then defensively, Eric Hendricks had a ton of tackles. That's why we brought him in. Tackles for loss. Quinton Williams was 16. We need to get more pressure on the quarterback. The rookie J.D. Noel led the team with 7. Noel. Interceptions 4 for Derwin James led the way. Tyrann Mathieu had 3. Yearly awards. We got Patrick Mahomes winning MVP. Some interesting things in there for sure. What team am I doing? The AFC. We're doing the Jets. So, Offensive Player of the Year is Mahomes. Defensive Player of the Year, Joe Schobert. Man, Jags defense is something else. Eric Hendricks in there at number 6. A lot of Titans as well. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Luke Fiore, who is the other quarterback not named, Antoine Valentine, which is such a sick name, by the way. Jason Temple finished at 2nd. No other Jets. And then Defensive Rookie of the Year, Joshua Walker. Go figure. Kirkpatrick at 3. Barnhart at 4. Noel at 5. All right, it was Bears-Chiefs in the Super Bowl. Looks like the Chiefs didn't end up winning it. Do I want to bring back Chris Herndon? If you're asking for less than 2, I could be in, and you're not. I'll see what else is out there. In free agency, still a lot of money. Still a lot of potential with who we could sign. And Jair Alexander's here. And Fred Warner's here. And I'm in on both of them. And Jason Kelsey, he's old, but I need these top 2 guys. You're getting all of the money. Time to actually finally spend and bring big names to the Jets. Which, as a Giants fan, is odd for me to say that. It's not like I hate the Jets. I don't really care for them one way or the other. But it's like I'm rooting for the wrong team here. But I want Jair. I will pay him a lot of money. And I want Fred Warner. Same deal. Fred Warner not getting a lot of offers. In fact, none. I might be able to get him for cheap. All right, this could be a really, really big week for us in free agency here. And it is. We got Jair Alexander and O.J. Howard. No one wanted O.J. Howard, but I did. Mark Andrews was another option, but he was just more expensive. So I'll take the slightly worse player who is a scheme fit for less money, because we are trying to be a little bit conscious of our money. We do need a center at some point. That's got to be something that creeps into our mind. And we have Jair Alexander now, which is just such an amazing addition to our team. He's just obviously a really great player. And why do we not have 3 zone abilities popping up? Why is that? Selfless shutdown. Where's Derwin James? Where's his ability? I don't know. But if we can manage to somehow bring in Fred Warner, and I moved to a 3-4. I'm considering things. And also, Brian Burns went up to Superstar Dev. I'm in. And we got Fred Warner as well. That's what I'm talking about. 5th-year option. Who is that going to be on? Quinnen Williams. Yes. That makes sense. 2018 first-round pick, number 3 overall, I want to say. And we'll bring him back. Maybe he went 2nd. Did he go 2nd? I want to say 3 for some reason. No, he did. It was... Wait. Yeah. I want to say it was 2018, the Saquon Barkley draft class. Saquon went 2. Mayfield went 1. Quinnen Williams was 3. Yeah, all right. I don't know why I was being weird about that. I just couldn't remember. Sometimes you forget about the order of things, but yeah. I just got to trust my gut. Another 5th-year option. Which first rounder did we trade for? Chris Lindstrom, that's right. Yeah, we'll bring him back as well. Fred Warner as Superstar X Factor as well. Yeah, I mean, look at this team, man. Look at this team. And it's almost more suited to be a 3-4 team in a lot of ways. But I don't know. We'll take either an edge rusher or a defensive tackle or an off-the-ball linebacker. Could take a safety, and then we just need or maybe even 2 offensive linemen. So we pick a number 28. And I think the first-round pick, did we trade for that for Eric Hendricks? I think we did. So is that can't be our pick. Who do we get that from? Well, either way, they're picking a number 1. Is Eric Hendricks worth it? Probably not, actually. Probably not. There's our center, George Mason, University. Looks to be a beast. Early first-round guy there in the 3rd. Then we got a baller, skip the combine, said, hey, Roger Goodell. Nah. None of that. And we got a Gene here. A little Gene Dangus action. We'll skip here to our pick, which is at number 28. We're still going to get really good value here in this draft just because the nature of where some of these players are. Jason Hart, 73 overall. I wish I knew where he was ranked. Could take a running back, but no. You guys ever go to the liquor store, go to the wine section, get a nice Chianti Franklin? No, me neither. Fuck wine, dude. But Ciante, I don't know what his name is. Franklin here is going to be number 6 in the draft. 75 overall, only normal development because, yeah, of course. Good player, only normal dev. This is my life now. Trading a 2nd and a 3rd next year and a 6th this year for number 45 from the Cardinals this year because we're going to be taking that center. I mean, we need him, and we decided to take a corner there. Don't really want to, risk him being off the board. So the move is to trade up and get who you want. All right, George Mason, welcome to the team. 74 overall, ranked at number 9 in the class. We took him at number 45. Only normal development because, again, of course it is. But he's our new starting center. All right, 3rd round pick. There are some good players that we had on the draft board, and at least one of them is still available. And I think Mike Hendricks is going to be my pick. Maybe potentially compete over Chuma Edoga. But, I mean, that's a good safety. Looks to be a really good player. 6'4", 207. Where would he fit in? I'm always looking to take defensive players, and that one, he could fit in kind of nicely. Yeah, I'm going with the safety, dude. Chuma Edoga is fine. Chester Stoudemire, 72 overall, ranked number 15. It's a weaker draft class in general. This is what I was going on and on and on about in the first draft class, where taking a player who's a 73 overall deep into the 20s, like, that was a really, really good draft class. This one, maybe not so much, but decent player. But that's going to do it for the draft. Did we make the right decision taking the mid-first round player at safety? At the end of the day, I think the right tackle wouldn't have been a high enough overall to even consider playing. So, yeah, I think we did. This will be the team for season number 3. Pretty good-looking team, if I do say so myself. We do have some weak spots, but we also have some really, really dominant players who should be just fantastic for us. So it's going to be interesting to see how this team plays. We just need the offense and defense to come together nicely, and we'll be golden. Lost to the Titans there in Week 7, but we are 4-3, trending to be a playoff team. Huge game in Week 8 against the Buffalo Bills, as we'll upgrade some of the team there. This one's going to be a big one because this could solidify us as a playoff team, winning the division as the Dolphins are 0-6, back to not even mediocrity, but back to being terrible. We got some tough games on the schedule. Week 9 against the Ravens is not going to be easy. This one against the Bills is not going to be easy. We'll do an offensive line training boost there so those guys can start to develop maybe a little bit more for Season 4. But we're in a pretty good spot here. I want to see where we rank because I'm trying out some playbooks. It's early in the year. You got to, mix and match and see what works. So clearly our offense is working. What about our defense? Not so much. That's dead last. Okay, that's not where we want to be. Derwin James is our top priority free agent here. Brian Burns and Sam Darnold. I mean, we have a lot of free agents. Well, maybe only like 4, but they're big ones. So we need to bring them back. Brian Burns, Sam Darnold, Derwin James. We have the money to do so. So let's not screw around here. Let's bring these guys back. Brian Burns is honestly not as expensive as he even should be. It's just over 10 mil on the cap hit for at least that first year. It's going to stretch out a little bit more, but 24 years old, already an 85 overall, superstar development. That's a very easy decision, as Sam Darnold's truly where things are going to start to get expensive, and he's going to limit our cap room quite a bit, but he's our starting quarterback. We need to bring him back. And I don't even know if we're going to have the money for Blake Cashman. That's going to be tough. Chuma Edoga as well is someone that we either need to replace or trade or something. I don't know. Oh, and we didn't make the playoffs. Excellent. Love when that happens. 8-8. We are getting progressively better every year. It's not like you just jump from terrible to awesome. But I'm confused as to how we were not better. 30-second defense. Why? The defense is good. I'm confused. Darnold was okay. I mean, good, but 14 picks. Kareem Hunt was very good. Jason Temple was good in the slot. I mean, I feel like our offense was overall very solid. We forced a lot of turnovers. I mean, look at all these interceptions. There's so many. Derwin James 5, Tyrann Mathieu 4, Fred Warner 4, sacks. We didn't get a ton of pressure, especially not from our defensive line. How does my middle linebacker have the most sacks on the team? That confuses me. Maybe, I know we keep changing schemes back and forth and back and forth. Maybe this team is destined to be a 4-3 team. I don't know. I'm trying out new playbooks and such, but we're just not getting the desired result. Sam Darnold at 8, Defense Player of the Year, Jerome Baker. I mean, I'm just trying to see what defense is going to be the most successful, and it seems like whatever I choose, we're still the worst in the league. So I don't love that. But in Season 4, I'm thinking we're going to be a playoff team. Oh, yeah, we got to bring Blake Cashman back, huh? It was Giants-Browns in the Super Bowl. What a matchup that would be. Blake Cashman. Oh, I don't know. We don't have any money. So I basically have two options. I don't have a tackle. We'll draft one. Blake Cashman, I'll be like, hey, can you come back for nothing? And oh, you don't have the money to offer nothing, which is cool. So actually, I can't do anything. So I don't know. I'm just going to cut Ryan Griffin to save some cap. That's why I was trying to trade Nathan Shepard. I couldn't remember why. I was trying to trade Nathan Shepard because his cap hit is like kind of a lot for someone that I don't really need. Where is he? Yeah, 6.2. Don't really need that. So I was just going through it, and I was cutting a lot of these players to save cap room a little bit because we're running really, really low. Clearly because we have so many talented players. Trying to build, you know, an absolute juggernaut. It's still going to be really tough to actually afford Blake Cashman. I don't think we're going to be able to. Now, we could kind of like, it wouldn't be cheesing it. It would be a little bit dishonest to just offer him nothing. And then, like, turn it into a franchise tag situation. But I just can't afford it. We'll be able to afford it, like, after the free agent period and after the draft. But unfortunately, the numbers just don't align for right now, which sucks. Are we picking number 15 in the draft? I think this is going to be the season, though. Our team is really, really good. We're going to be in a position to at least make the playoffs. So I've got high hopes. Now, do I need anything? Kind of. Because Nathan Shepard should be traded. I might even trade him in this draft. That might be our best move. Maybe I'll do that in some type of a trade-up scenario. But as you can see, our offensive line is good. Besides, we need a right tackle. Don't have to worry about that. Receiving core is good. Temple's up to star development now. Quarterback, running back, everything's good there. And then defensively, I would actually say that we're fantastic overall. We just need a few things, and that's an edge rusher and potentially an off-the-ball linebacker. We're in a weird situation where, like, free safety is, like, maybe great, maybe not so great, which is weird. Like, we could move Tyrann Mathieu there, make it great. Then we'd have, like, cornerback be about the same, honestly. So that might end up being the move. But we need a linebacker to play left outside linebacker, and we need an edge rusher. Because we have Brian Burns, who's great. Noel and Williams are going to play defensive tackle. Shepard I can trade. And then we just need an edge rusher, really, other than that. So it might be some trade-ups going on. We'll have to see what the draft class looks like, and then we'll make our moves. Man, really bad offensive line class. That is a little bit disappointing. Dalvin Kinney is unbelievable. If we need an edge rusher, that's going to be the best one in the class, I think, very easily. Might be the best player in the class overall. He looks incredible. Markel Vereen. Virginia. That's actually funny because didn't Brock and Shane Vereen both go to Virginia? Brock Vereen went to Minnesota. Maybe it was it Shane Vereen, or am I totally off base here? Shane Vereen went to Cal. Why am I don't know. That's strange. I don't know. I guess I'm just stupid. 2 first-round middle linebackers that are actually first-round talents? You don't really see that usually. Oh, one's a monster. Montel Dorsey. Okay. We might have to make some moves. Damn, that safety's sick too. Jeremiah Macklin. Also, I feel like Lindsey Adams looks like a really familiar safety name of someone we've seen in the draft before. So I don't know, but we might have to make a move up into the top 10 twice, which is doable, but it's going to involve Nathan Shepard moving, which I'm okay with. A safety goes number 1 overall. Jeremiah Macklin to the Dolphins. And I really, really want Dalvin Kinney. I'm going to hope the Cardinals pass up on him at number 2. Make this trade up into the top 5 a little bit easier. Hopefully he doesn't go at number 2, and he doesn't. Back-to-back safeties. And now I don't think I can wait any longer. I think the Panthers would definitely take him. So we're going to make a move here with the Rams. I can't make a move with the Rams, man. I don't have anything that they want at all. And I have a lot of positions and a lot of players they could trade. The Rams don't want any of it. So, and we can't trade with picks either. I tried. There he goes. 79 overall. That would have been a very nice starter. That sucks. All right, Nathan Shepard on the move, as is Denzel Mims. We just have more receivers in front of him. Don't really need him anymore. A 3rd-round pick next year for number 6 overall from the Colts, where I am going to be taking a middle linebacker. And this player is going to be a monster. His overall is even going to jump up when we move him to outside linebacker. He's going to be probably mid-70s, if I had to guess. I would say that's probably a good guess for him. Super fast, strong, top skills, amazing. Going to play left outside linebacker, take the place of Blake Cashman. He is a 76 overall, ranked number 9. We took him at number 6. He'll probably end up being a 78. So there's Blake Cashman, but with only normal development. 91 speed at middle linebacker, but of course, he'll play left outside. That is a fast linebacker, man. Nice awareness as well. And then we're trading Cordell Golson, who's a 77 overall receiver, but 4th on the depth chart at that position, and number 15 to move up to number 7. So we're giving up a lot there, but I think the return is going to be worth it when we take a guaranteed top 8 player in the draft and an edge rusher. Maybe not quite as good as a 79 overall, but Thomas Gilmore out of Clemson looks to be quite good as well, and he is. Number 6 in the class. This is a stacked draft class if number 6 is a 77. Only normal development, again, because of course it is, but 82 speed, 82 finesse moves, quite good. Good tackling, pursuit, hit power, block shed, all very solid. Quincy Wilson and a 4th gets me back up near the end of the first round. However, it is near the very end. Well, pretty much. A lot of picks away from here. Number 24. If this was the real-life draft, it'd be like 3 hours away from that pick. But there goes DeAndre Lowell, 73 overall. At this pick, I am going to be taking someone to help our offensive line. And that is going to be Braden Tiller out of Ohio State. I think he's going to be a good player for us, and he is. 74 overall. Helps out our offensive line. Likely our Chuma Edoga replacement. So he's ranked 15 in the class. We took him at 24. Can't really complain at that. Great pass blocking. Nice run block finesse, but not really much of a run blocker. Nice merch. Link is in the description if you like the nice meme. Check it out. But that's the end of the draft. We'll just take a random middle linebacker here. Jabari Cross. Number 89 in the class. We took him at 143. Almost a nice overall there. Slightly off. 89 speed, man. These linebackers can fly, huh? All right, so now we're going to move Bryson Tiller's fat white brother over to right guard. I think Ali Marpet is actually going to be a better fit at right tackle. So we're just going to go ahead and change his position to such. Actually, nah, we're going to do that. Chris Lindstrom now has to play left guard. This is going to be the offense for the 4th season, probably the final season. Backups will fill in. Defensively, this is what we're looking at. Again, it's a team that looks really solid. The Browns' normal development players makes it look a little bit less than it is overall, but I think it's a solid team. A couple of rookies actually starting for us. Need a kicker as well. And then as far as specialist goes, I need to move Gilmore to rush right end instead of Jabari Zuniga. So I will make that change in the depth chart, and then we'll go ahead and start season 4. Also, I can't risk I can't understate the allure of Fat Randy. However, I actually can't sign him. It's so tempting, and I can't do it. Annoying. How are we that bad for money still? Oh, first round picks. That'll do it. Okay, so we only lost by a touchdown to the Chiefs there in week 8. We're 4-3 again. Okay, Ali Marpet's an impending free agent. The Patriots are 6-1. Dolphins are back. The Bills are back, 3-4. That's competitive, even though those are not great records. We'll upgrade the team. It's only Eric Hendricks. I guess that's the whole team. We have auto upgrade on, so that could be why. And we will spend Coach XP probably on quarterback here. See if Sam Darnold can get that extra boost in order to make him good and carry the team. I need this to be a playoff team, man. This should be the final season, so I'm not going to bother with re-signings right now. We'll just simulate to the playoffs and see if we can make it, which we should be able to. We're on track for the playoffs. Team has been upgraded. I think this is a playoff caliber team. This would be really upsetting to end the video on a bad note. I guess I'd play another season probably, but let's see what we can do here. Playoff time, and oh, first round bye. 12-4. The Patriots also went 12-4. That's annoying. But we finished on top, so we won the division. That should be a first round bye, and it is. We'll check out Sam Darnold here. Threw for 4,100 yards, 38 TDs, only 10 picks. Rushing, Kareem Hunt averaged 5 per carry, 11 TDs, almost 1,200 yards. Receiving, I put Calvin Ridley in the slot. That increased his targets. It looked like he went over 1,000, 9 TDs. Mike Williams over 1,000 yards, 8 touchdowns. And O.J. Howard dominated. 869 yards on 86 catches, 13 TDs. Red zone threat was killer from him. Fred Warner was great. Also put together a lot of sacks. This is interesting. He had 14 tackles for loss. Sacks, though, 8.5 for Thomas Gilmore, 8.5 for J.D. Noel. Eric Hendricks had 7. Brian Burns, it looks like he's not even playing. He had an interception. Is he playing off the ball somehow? How did he have a pick? Fred Warner had 5. We're just not getting a lot of pressure. Playbooks and defensive scheme and sim stats are so strange to me still. It seems like everything's completely random, and it still doesn't make any sense to me. I never get how it works. Defensive touchdown for Derwin James. Like to see that. We had the 10th best offense. I assume the defense had to win pretty good. 7th. There we go. Finally, the offense and defense are clicking cohesively. Mahomes and the Chiefs only went 8-8. That's a yikes from me. The Patriots are just like always so good in sim somehow. Playbook. Oh, I wanted the shocker. Playbook carries hard. Sam Darnold finished at 3rd for Offensive Player of the Year. Defensive Player of the Year, Fred Warner. Okay. Eric Hendricks at 9. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Travis Newhouse. Kai Burr is at 4, whoever that is. And then Defensive Rookie of the Year is Thomas Gilmore, our right end. Montel Dorsey, linebacker, and they're at number 6. He's up to an 80. So the team did very, very well to earn a first-round bye, which is exactly where we wanted to be. We are at a team 90 overall, 91 offense, 89 defense. And player progression, we'll do wide receiver. Not that it matters too much, but that's where we are. CPU should upgrade the team, and then we will be in the divisional, and we'll see who we're playing. It is the Chargers. We'll go ahead and upgrade the team here, and we'll see if we can beat the Chargers. Not going to jump in here as it's the divisional, but we will if we beat them in the conference championship. We'll jump in there. And we do. 21-14, and we have the Baltimore Ravens. Ravens-Jets, man. That feels like a classic, like 2000s into 2010s matchup there. Back when the Jets were good and the Ravens were good. 90 overall, 91 offense, 89 defense. Playing at MetLife, a.k.a. Giants Stadium. Oh, Jets fans are triggered. We'll go ahead and see if we can beat the Ravens here. 90 overall to their 86. Darnold versus Lamar Jackson. 2 quarterbacks of the same draft class. Let's see if the Jets made the right decision here in, what was it, 2023? I like how I checked the calendar on my computer, like that's what it is in the game. Come on now. All right, snow is coming down here in East Rutherford, New Jersey, as the Jets are out to an early 7-0 lead, but the Ravens tie it up. This Jets offense can't be stopped with a field goal, but the Ravens answer with a touchdown, and then they are stopped. Big stop from this gangrene defense. The New York sack exchange, and the Ravens are ahead by 11. 1:24 to play. We're going to need a big drive, man. And it's on sim. I need to move it to arcade so we actually have a chance to make these comebacks. We're just going to streak down the sideline. I mean, it's pretty much double coverage. Can we get that ball in there, though? Nearly intercepted. Not good. We have no time, though. We just have no time. Also, Calvin Ridley's fast as hell. I love an inaccurate bullet pass there from Sam Darnold and a wide-open receiver. Bengal, you suck. Yeah, dude. Make the right read, throw it, and, of course, it's not even close. But I cannot see these Seahawks defenders. That's wide open. I just got to go secure catch. Catch it. Temple. Thank you. All right, we actually have a chance. Thank God that got open. We're going to need an onside kick to win this game as long as we score. Rolling out with Darnold. Can we fit that in there? And that is super tight coverage from Patrick Queen. I need this to be man coverage, and I need the safety to pick wrong. I did not mean to press that. Mike Williams catches it anyway. Doesn't actually help me that much. We had maybe a touchdown with a good throw, but also probably wasn't going to be a good throw. Also, I don't know what that question mark means. Darnold, we're just going to run here. Took a hit. I need to call a timeout. Timeouts don't matter at this point anyway, because we need an onside kick. Blitz, and then the quick hitter to O.J. Howard. Oh, they didn't. They faked the blitz. We're rolling out. There's a flag. We're just going to throw it away because it's holding. Don't want more time to tick off. Yeah, dude, I suck. This is on me, man. Totally my fault.
Well, it's your fault you didn't jump in quickly enough.
Yeah, dude, I mean, it's always going to be something. Can we throw that? Patrick Queen is like a freaking cornerback. He's Deion Sanders out there. Jesus. Probably should have scrambled, slid, called a timeout. Gonna check down there. There's just not enough time. 3rd and goal. They covered that so well. Sam Darnold, the strength to get into the end zone. It was really the only play as Sam Darnold tries to jerk off Patrick Queen for his great coverage. Get your hand out of there, Sam. We're going to need an onside kick. We're going to need an onside kick. It's the only thing. Their coverage has been unreal. Threw that way too late. I don't know. Didn't see anything open and then forced it. Just no good. But we're gonna need the onside kick anyway. I gotta slow down when I speak, man. Here we go. One shot, one chance. We don't recover it. Even with the huge hit stick, we don't force a fumble. Todd Gurley's on the Ravens. Jesus. All right, that's gonna do it for this game. Nothing really we could do. So that is gonna do it for this game here. Yeah, man. Is what it is. So it's going to be Ravens Cowboys in the Super Bowl, which, I mean, I guess it could happen this year in real life. I have to see what happens with the season. Who knows? But that is going to do it for the video. This is the final team, in case you guys care. Might see a development trait increase here for Sam Darnold, but we don't. Pretty solid team. I mean, you consider this team, you can consider them rebuilt. 90 overall. It's very, very good. Did anyone change here in development trade? I don't think so. Oh, Gilmore went up to star. There you go. Dorsey went up to star too. Okay. So I didn't think anybody but actually 2 did. Really, really fun team. Gotta love it. But go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you're new. Appreciate you guys. And I will see you in the next one. Take it easy.
We'll